One.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 14 of Better Than Heroes.
Wow.
I just want to say a quick thank you to everybody who joined us last week. We had such a great episode with Lou Wilson from Dimension 20. It was so much fun. Thanks if you are back from that episode. We're happy to have you. My name is Rachel Weeks, and I play Klik, the level 5 Tohr-Kreen fighter. Like I mentioned last week, merch is coming. We are working on getting merchandise out to all of you. We're going to put all your t-shirt ideas to the test. So please make sure that you are following our Twitter and Instagram. Make sure that you get all the updates on that stuff. If you enjoy Better Than Heroes, please subscribe to our channel. Subscribers, please remember to resubscribe. If you're a subscriber, you should have access to our Discord, so you can come hang out, talk D&D with us. It's mostly links to dice. I love it. So if you don't have access to the Discord, please hit us up. We want to make sure we can get you in there. But remember, the best way that you can support this show is by telling your friends and sharing us on social media. We appreciate it so very much.
Put it to the test. I love it.
Yeah, if you're wondering how we put our t-shirts to the test, I put them on and I do a very special dance.
The test.
This one cuts the mustard. This one will make us millions.
Yes. No.
No, to
Maybe.
the fire with it.
You're two piles. Yes and no. My name is Andrew Ovredahl. I play the human bard named Flute, a.k.a. the Windrider. And if you want to check out our Patreon, it's at patreon.com/betterthanheroes. We have all different tiers with all different benefits, including if you're a crazy backer, we have a monthly one shot we do that sometimes turns into a 2-shot. Oops. But yeah, if you want to check that out, get in there. Get in there. No one complains about more extra D&D, right?
Totally. My name is Jordan Dahl. I play the Moonboy, a level 5 Moonboy, and I am going to shout out Big Top Studios, our sponsor, friend, Big Top, out there making things happen. And
Big 12.
thank you so much to Big Top, and thank you so much to you guys for being here.
Woo! Yeah, my name's Aaron Urist. I play K.A.I, the Artificer. And I'm going to shout out our stream director, Case Drury, everybody. The very best. The very best. And right now we're going to watch our fantastic intro video, courtesy of that same person and Tiger Moon Productions, Case's company. And then we're going to watch our recap from last week's fantastic episode. And then we're going to play Dungeons, Therefore Dragons.
You keep getting it wrong, dude. And you maybe played it more than anybody else. Come on,
maybe
dude.
next week he'll get it.
Ergo,
Dragons.
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 All right, see you on the other side.
Last time on Better Than Heroes, in the city of Fermaregna, vexed by the disappearance of their ship, the Dinger, and their captain, Goliathan, the crew of the Dinger awoke to a knock at the door. The visitor was a new friend, Angus, a Goliath beetle Tohr-Kreen monk. News had reached him of the crew's battle with the Widowers, a group he despised.
Say Widower. Say it. Say it and I'm ready. Just go. Go off. Say it. Say it.
Widower.
Bam!
He suspected that Goliathan and his moss friend Swan had been captured by those same evildoers. The crew accompanied Angus to his ship, where they met his pilot Squawk, a duckman, and flew off to free their companions. On the way, they noticed that the elven ship which had pursued them through wild space was anchored at the Widower dock. Our friends landed and did battle with 2 widowers and a mysterious elf of the Meridian Track.
Who are those guys?
The party won,
You can't handle these legs!
freeing Swan and Goliathan, who revealed that all this time he had been running from this Meridian Tract,
Who are those guys?
but would do so no longer. Who is this Meridian Tract?
They're beginning to get on my nerves. Who are those guys?
What do they want with us? Man, that Angus guy was cool. When's he coming back?
There'll be a sequel to this hug.
Find out next time on Better Than Heroes.
Bok, motherfucker.
All right, hello, welcome. We are back. I am Harlan, the dungeon master for this evening, and we're going to jump right in. The last we left our party, we left them in this scene of you all kind of triumphantly, I would say, leaving this fight. You have rescued your captain Goliathan, the eccentric dwarf who has hired you all to be on this ship. You just got done fighting a elven member of this organization you don't know much about, but you know it's pretty powerful, called the Meridian Tract. And you've also really kicked the ass of the kind of like more local gang. They're all kind of throughout the universe here, but they don't have the same prestige that the Meridian Tract does. But you've kicked the Widowers' asses a couple of times now. And so after being able to fight both of these organizations, you have flown away. You've parted ways with your new friends Swan and Angus as they have decided that they needed to go into hiding here for a bit, as they are very associated with everything happening here, where you all are kind of, outsiders here. There seems to be a bit of a reputation as you all sinking two widower ships in the middle of the air out of nowhere has gotten around town. And that's why, your ship was compromised in the first place, is they were able to track it to Swan's dock in this huge mantis city of Firma Regna. So here you all are. The party is on the deck of the ship. You're not 100% sure where Goliathan is going right now, but he is back to steering the Dinger, your big yellow ship, and Golden. But you know that he's informed you he's circling back to what he believes is a safe spot to land on Firma Regna again, this giant mantis city. So I will leave it to you all, who kind of have, you have about an hour or so as he's taking a nice curve, this route, to shuffle him up a bit and be able to come in a bit covertly.
Yeah. I've got a question for everybody. Should we be beating feet? Should we be getting the hell out of here, as they say?
We still have.
Moonboy, where are your shoes?
Well, I was making some Moonboys, and one of the ingredients in a Moonboy, if you were there, you would understand, is one of my shoes. It was hilarious. The Windrider and I cooked. It's an inside joke. And I was making the drink, and I left them on Angus's cool ship. But it's fine. They were regular old boots. They weren't magic or anything. I wear a Moonboy size 4.
I don't know if I understand Gnome culinary. Shoes?
We might be able to make you some new ones.
I'm a Moonboy, first of all. I might look like a gnome, but I think we'd be friends long enough that how dare you, first of all.
Sometimes you gotta take a guess.
Right. I guess you're right, being a big butterfly or whatever, a moth. Right? How does that feel? Yes?
No, that was intentional.
Yes, it was. I'm sort of making a straw man out of the situation. Because I feel bashful about the fact that, yes, I made my shoes into drinks and then I forgot them on the ship.
That's all right. We'll get you some new ones.
Thank you.
So the four of you are hanging out here on the top of the deck as you are still trying to. Your ship is not at full capacity, as one of its masts is still broken, so it can't take. Its turning is pretty bad, and you can even feel like a couple of like jolts here and there, as it seems to just not be fully functioning correctly. The rest of your crew, Goat, the Goliath Barbarian, Cobble, the old Kobold Navigator, and Relic the Gunner. Relic the Gunner is also up at the ballista, strapped in, ready. But those two are down below, as well as Janice, the sentient ooze that you all are with. But you all are kind of up top in case there's any danger. You all are the fighters of the crew, and so you are up top, just hanging out on the decks, having these conversations. So,
And we lifted off from where we came in and docked.
yes, you have lifted off from the where you were before with the last fight. Yes.
Also, as long as we're asking people about what's up with them, what's up with this dead body you've hauled aboard, Windrider? I mean,
I had Klik.
You see just see some like legs like sticking out behind a barrel that is like unaddressed. Yeah.
Are you going to interrogate him?
Interrogate the dead body?
I don't know. He's the Windrider.
Yeah, I'm kind of perplexed as well with this dead body. I'm kind of like looking at him like,
he's dead, but I can tell he's still in there. I could ask him some questions.
When we were fighting, he called you by name. What was that about?
I'll like
No, he called him Flute.
just sort of
Right.
Oh yeah, he did say Flute. Did Moonboy hear him say that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I get it. You guys look alike.
It's the hair.
Yeah,
mainly is the difference.
I'll just kind of like be chewing on my lip for a bit, and
I suppose I should come clean on a bit of information. Before I signed up with Goliath, and I traveled for just a wee bit of time with these widowers before I parted ways with them, so I may run into a familiar face or two.
That's all right.
I
I used to be a vegetarian.
Is that true? That's somehow more shocking.
I know. We've all got dark pasts, is what I'm saying.
Or was that just a phase when you were just eating only pickles?
What?
You just decided to lump it in there as a vegetarian. Just decided to throw an ism on it.
Look, pickles will always comprise a large portion of my diet.
I know it. Who do you think makes them?
But nowadays, I will also eat pickled bacon, pickled fish, pickled meats. Is what I'm saying. Well, the point is, we've all got dark histories. I'm on your side, Windrider. Now, as always, you have my hands, I guess, for spells.
Not shoes.
No. Well, no.
I don't know if we all have murder pirate histories.
Yeah, I don't.
What were you doing? What were you doing with the widowers?
Yeah, I'm a little bit shocked.
Well, I wasn't quite sure what I'd signed up for, and once I saw what I had signed up for, I left the group.
Did you just take a slip from a bulletin board, thinking it was a free dresser? What happened? Like, I don't understand how you found them.
Well, one thing led for another, and I found myself with the wrong sort.
Well, you're with the right sort now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think. I hope. Yeah.
I'll look as I guess more uncertain as K.A.I grows more uncertain.
Yeah. I'll check over at Janice and just give her a knowing eye. I also hope.
Yeah, you see it. She is everybody. The rest of the crew is down below deck, but Janice, you see, has come out again, holding this barrel in her hands, just like as you all are having this conversation. This like elfin form that Janice has been masquerading as throughout the city, which is the first form that you met her in, and she's holding this barrel kind of like under one arm, and you can see the silvery cord kind of going through the knot hole from the side of her body. And she like doesn't even approach you all at first. She just kind of like goes up and stands at the edge of the ship, and you all can. It's kind of a beautiful sight right now. Like it's cresting into the afternoon right now, and you all can see you've moved away from the city of Firmarigna. But you can see it like it's the cityscape kind of, and you've approached it before, but now that you've seen it and seen all these like bustling pieces of it, you can like zoom out and just have another appreciation for it, and can see the ground here and there all throughout, and it just seems to be like different bits of protruding rock that don't have too much vegetation on it. It's just kind of like moss or like things that you would imagine in a pond or lagoon that are kind of like bunched up here and there. And you see a bit of the ground shift, and at first you think something's coming out of it, but it just like moves around as these big pieces of land just either go underwater or like one shoots up, so there's now this like small hill and you realize that this geography of this planet is very uncertain. It seems to shift often, which you can see why the mantis legs are necessary with that too. As you see a shift in the distance underneath the city of Firmarigna, and it almost doesn't move at all. You see no crest, no shake or shimmer to the city, as one of the legs just kind of adjusts itself, like you, Klik, would recognize this almost like a battle stance of like readying itself for something, but nothing happens. It's more of just like shifting its weight to respond to the movement of the planet. And Janice looks at you all and goes, "It is gorgeous, this place that we are at."
It is. It's fantastic.
You all have done many things since I have been with you.
I suppose that's true.
Did you all kill the people that were responsible for hurting our captain?
Yes, some of them. Hopefully we'll be safe for now. I doubt they would try the same thing twice so quickly.
I see. Well, I am happy because it seems our deal is going well. I have seen a new place, and I have not been abandoned or shoved into a place where I am kept from having new experiences. Look at what I am experiencing currently, she says, and like gestures her hands out. She's like, it's the wild world. It is very big.
K.A.I smiles.
True. We have a word for this, Janice.
What is it? Is it moon? I'm trying to be funny. Did it work?
Yes. Everyone together. Good joke, Janice.
Ha 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 ha.
We are laughing.
We call this.
Ha 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 ha.
We call this friends.
Oh.
She gestures to like the beautiful scenery. Friends?
No, when we don't put you in a cupboard and we share experiences together and we protect you from pirates and such.
Yes, I see. This I have pulled this from my consciousness. It is a bond of reverence and appreciation.
Exactly.
Do you have reverence for me?
I do.
Certainly.
Two of you did not answer.
Do I feel reverence? I'm not sure I understand what you mean. I feel an affection. I feel a deep terror. And they're sort of intertwined.
I understand that.
And I suppose that combination could be combined into reverence. That's how people feel. I don't know.
Yes. That is how I feel about thinking about what I was before what I am now. I know that my name was a droplet pulled from the pool, and I do have an ambient memory of myself as a larger thing than what I currently am. Not, a part of, and she kind of is like having trouble as she's kind of like losing. And she's like, I think I have observed this experience before where the elves do not have words for what I am trying to tell you. And so it is difficult for me to communicate it to you, but I see what you mean, Klik. I too am feel horror and affection for things at the same time.
Yeah. Relationships are complicated.
I'm gonna motion to this dead body at my feet, and
K.A.I, K.A.I, can you grab the legs and we'll take them downstairs for a little conversation?
Between
He's
us,
dead.
or okay,
Right? He's
sure.
dead.
I'm not sure what you're going for, but I will support you.
This is
yeah,
a strange...
I'll grab his arms.
Yeah, I think the Moonboy is kind of watching this, and he's picking up on that same thing that he picked up on in the fight. This is a strange new wrinkle in the Windrider ethos, and I think it's challenging some of his core beliefs about about who Windrider is. But he's still there. He's still like, yes, okay. If the Windrider wants to talk to a dead guy, there's a good reason for it.
Cool. So yeah, you all can. Janice is going to saunter off. She's like, looks over at Relic and just like looks interested and kind of like goes over to speak with him. And you all, if you all want to go as a group, Flute is, or the Windrider is dragging this body kind of by himself at first. And if you want to take it down below, you absolutely can.
I will walk to catch up with him and scoop it up off the ground. Carry this.
Yeah, I have it by the arms, but it's like the head is like hitting every stair on the way down.
I'm relieved that you are helping because I'm very weak physically.
I was gonna say, you guys are the two weakest.
Oh, I thought K.A.I was super strong. I didn't.
No.
I screwed up. Oh,
No,
sorry.
just sort of look that way.
I pick up this.
Klik is the only one.
So the two weakest, and he's not even a big guy. He's like an average human.
Punk.
Yeah, he's a little henchman. In fact, I think his tiny glasses and Kangol hat fall off as his head bumps on the stairs, and the Moonboy collects them. Oh, I got his evil guy stuff.
His evil guy stuff.
Those little round glasses.
That's good.
Yeah, I guess I'll drag him toward a room where he won't be bothered. I don't know, the galley.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there's
quarters.
Yeah, there are crew quarters down there, and Goat has is kind of doing. You see her, that your big Goliath and the bosun on the ship is patching just with like straight up wood a big old hole in the side of the ship, and she doesn't even take notice to you as she's kind of like doing her own wind down and meditative work that is just doing something and being engrossed in it. And Cobble's kind of nowhere to be found, but you all can pull yourselves into one of the two rooms that has hammocks draped kind of all around it that are your quarters.
Cool.
And you can do whatever you like in this room.
Cool.
What is the plan?
Yeah, I'll drop him on the floor.
It just falls back, just like full sausage casing. Yeah.
And then I'm going to put some incense on either side of him, and light it. Whatever the worst flavor you can imagine is probably what I have on hand.
There was at the record store on Colfax, they had 7-Up incense, and it smelled literally like 7-Up.
It's 7-Up incense, what I have.
Canon.
That's bizarre.
So crazy.
It's just it's whatever incense you would like to imagine. And then I'm going to light the incense and sort of mumble this spell. And as I mumble it, my remaining eye sort of occludes and like turns black.
What is this?
Do I remember this fellow's name from when I
Yeah.
crewed with him?
Yeah, you recognized him. Man, I'm going to say this wrong, even though I made up this name.
Like, you can't say it wrong.
I know,
You
but
can
I
just
just
be like, that's the name my parents gave me. They said it that way.
Yeah.
that's like a DM tip is like, oh, just say whatever confidently, and I'm like, you obviously don't know me.
Hey,
Yeah.
famously, my father thought my name was Jason for about 4 days after I was born, so you're good.
Hilarious.
Wow.
Shook is the name of this. Shook. It's like
Shook.
it's like SHOUK. Shook is the name of this widower.
Shook. Okay.
And what was he? He was like a whip guy or something, right? Or like
No,
two
that was
swords.
the centaur. He was just
Double
like a sword boy.
That's right.
Jean jacket with the emblem.
Oh yeah.
Punk guy. He was a punk pirate.
Oh, I guess he couldn't have had an evil
Yeah.
Kangol on then. Okay, just the tiny glasses.
He still has like a white shirt on that has like charcoal that seems like to be gone over and over, and this like crude widower symbol
I feel
on
bad
it.
for killing him. He's like a high school sophomore.
You also find a letter. You also find a letter in his pocket that's like talks about how happy he is to murder anyone he possibly can. So
All right, he has
it's just
no
like
family.
detailed. Yeah,
Thing
A
out.
murder is his family.
it's just detailed descriptions about how he like wants to kick a dog every day. Like, yeah.
I watch YouTube videos on the bus, full blast.
It's poetry. He was trying to express himself.
Back when you worked with him at the Widowers, you just remember he would always go into taverns and never tip at all, ever, no matter how nice the bartender
Now
was.
I feel fine about it. I don't even want to talk to this guy. I put the incense out and I dispel. No, just kidding. Let's tease this guy. What a bit of character flavor to make us all hate the murder. We're like, yeah, but he made his own jacket. Yeah, he was a murderer, but and then it's like, but he never tips. Like, yeah, we're gonna throw him off the ship.
Take his skin. That's the worst kind of person.
Well, you can tell we've all had a few service industry jobs.
Right?
Shout out.
This crew. Cool. So yeah, as the incense burns, I say the spell, and my eye turns black, and I'll say,
I shook. It's me, the Windrider.
and it looks like I can ask him 5 questions. And
Yeah,
it's
so
up to him how cooperative he wants to be.
Yeah, so you let me just see real quick. Just a tiny little second. You all see the rest of the party. You see this body that's kind of like, this shout out to the chat for making this reference because it's a good reference. He's like kind of weakened at Bernie's propped up, and his like limbs are kind of like draping in a weird way, and his head is just like lulled. And you all, the whole party sees the Windrider's eye that has been messed up when he almost died turn just pitch black. And
Wait,
it's
is this the messed up eye or is this the regular eye?
This is my regular eye.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Excuse
Okay.
me.
Sorry.
Yeah, because
my messed up eye is bandaged up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're right. I said that wrong.
Whoa.
So this regular eye just turns fully black, like it's just ink in a pool of water, and you see it kind of like spread out. And the corpse that is propped up there pulls its head around and is just in the same state, but it seems to be moving now. And it doesn't jump up. It just kind of like looks straight at the Windrider. And it goes, Flute. And it's a disturbing voice because it sounds like a poorly played flute. Sorry for that unintentional reference, where it's just like wind kind of not fully going over an opening that is his voice, and he just goes.
You just describe it as a flute and then wind.
Sorry for my dog absolutely yelling at me.
No, never mind.
No.
It's like a soft ride down a bumpy.
Where do you keep your dad?
Yeah, your dog is heckling me for my descriptions. And it looks at you and goes, "You traitor." And you can absolutely ask it your questions now, but it starts with that.
Okay.
Sorry I had to put you down, Shook, but I'll tell it to you plain. This is the last conversation you're ever gonna have, so we can have a friendly chat, or we can just call it here.
Let's have you roll persuasion. How well can you persuade a corpse that you killed?
Yeah.
Hang on, can I
What do you got? Throw it in.
The Moonboy is going to put his hand on Windrider's shoulder and lean in and go, "This looks really scary, but I want you to know it's still pretty cool." And he casts guidance upon him.
Cool.
Tag, that lets me roll an extra D4, right?
Yeah, D4, I believe.
Oh, baby. Just what I needed.
Yeah, you feel this just like little sidekick jolt to your confidence as you say this to it. You feel the Moonrider by your side, and get this tiny bit of confidence that echoes. And what'd you get?
I got a 17.
Oh boy, I got a 15. So
Thanks for that guidance, baby. I rolled a 4 on the guidance, so
Nice.
Ooh.
Moonsplaining, as chat likes to call it.
Moonsplaining. God damn it.
It's very good.
This scene was about to be over without the Moonboy. Okay, so it looks at you and goes, "You jerk! I will help you, just to have a few more seconds to live."
Kind of.
I don't know about that.
Consciousness. It says, kind of like after thinking a little, I don't know what's happening to me currently, but I know that you are the only voice that is standing between me and darkness right now. So shoot your shot, buddy.
I had a taste of that myself recently, so I know you're about to slip into it, so we could just chat a bit.
Sure. What's up with you?
Just wondering. Oh, not much. Just found this crew. Just an eclectic sort. I'm the only human on board, which just takes some getting. And anyway,
Yeah. Honestly, it seems like cards on the table. Seems like a good call. You crush us.
The last conversation is small talk.
Yeah. I want to speak with the dead to make elevator conversation with the corpse.
Wow, rough dry, huh?
How many of your questions have you accidentally expended?
I haven't used any. No, I haven't used any.
Oh, he's been. I was so ready to pull that joke, but he's being careful.
Yeah. I've been very careful. But yeah, I'm trying to think of the first question I want to ask.
How have the wife and kids been?
no, that's not one of the questions. The questions can only come from me.
They're dead.
Okay.
So where the widowers hold up now?
In the arch outside of town. It's the big ship that they used to keep docked on the rock, but after you pulled the rug out of a couple, just that one diplomatic situation, cast a couple dominoes for them in the rock, and they had to find a new spot. But, the arch is parked outside of town.
Right. And who's calling the shots at the arch?
The widowers are barely calling the shots these days. It's like we're working for someone else, you know?
And who might that be?
Is that 3 or 2?
That's 3. I asked who's calling the shots, and
Okay.
he said the widows aren't calling the shots; they're working for someone else.
He
Which
gets
I guess
5 questions too.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm gonna roll a d20 to see if he knows this person's name or if he can just describe them. Okay. Now you had an 18 altogether, which is good for you. And so he goes, "It's that damn Ventress." In case my death accent threw it off, it's Ventress, Ventris, Ventress. And he goes, "We've been taking orders from the Meridian Tract to survive. I don't like playing their games. It was more fun when we could just kick in any door we wanted."
I'll look to my cohorts here and like,
Do any of you have a question?
What do they want with Goliath?
Yes, Head, it's the Moonboy here. Is there anywhere I could get some shoes nearby?
I'll ask him. No, that does not count as the question.
Yeah. I was going to say, it has to funnel through you, so you get that safeguard.
And I'll like...
Right, I'll ask that 6. 1 second.
It kind of like cracks its head around, and although it can only really... It seems to just be like, can tell you're looking in other directions and like conversing with other people, but it just like looks blankly as it like kind of flops its head around, and it clearly cannot see anyone but you.
Okay, cool.
What did you want with our captain? The dwarf you took?
Success. He just kind of laughs.
I'm torn. I'm torn for this final question.
Maybe you could ask him about like a secret password or something, or if they have a secret handshake and we could pretend to be in the widows.
Right, I already know the
Or
secret
like
handshake.
what the Meridian Tract is after.
Yeah.
What the Meridian Tract is using them for.
You could ask them the shoes thing.
Right.
The shoes.
Kai's question, then the shoes. So, what is the Meridian Tract even after? Why have they conscripted you?
They need us to do what they can't with their pretty little heads. And he like kind of just like with that, his literal head just kind of flops all the way back with nothing to support it, with this like magic to not support it anymore. And it's just pretty grotesque as it just like falls back and is clearly just hanging there.
And about the Moonboy shoes. He's gone.
Is he still there? Is he still there? I want something new and cooler at this car.
He slipped the line.
I will say,
what shoes is this guy wearing?
That's exactly what I was going to say. I love it. Moonboy, let's have you roll an investigation check to see how small this guy's feet
I
are.
was gonna say, I want to know how big his feet are. Is the big thing.
I mean, he's a human. No matter what, they're going to be big on you. But
You're
let's
like
see.
4 feet tall.
You can stuff. You can
I wear
stuff.
a Moonboy 4. This is investigation. That's a 10.
Yeah, you could put your feet in the shoes he is wearing. They're like beat up leather boots, but they're huge. You could probably fit both of your legs inside of one of them for you.
Terrible. Forget it. I've walked around barefoot on worse. I'm the Moonboy.
Yeah, it would be like putting flowers in a vase if you got inside this boot.
It'd be like putting flowers in a vase if I got inside this boot.
Well, if you just fill it up with dirt,
Well, that's
then
not
you
bad
can stomp
idea.
around in this dirt.
That's a pretty fun idea for later, maybe. He writes down a little note, dirt boot, but he's like kind of salty about it.
Like, yeah, when someone you don't want to have a good idea has a good idea. Yeah.
Exactly. He doesn't put him on.
Cool.
As I look at Shook's dead body, like an idea strikes me. I'm like,
I have a rather unpleasant idea. What if we let the old ooze have a taste of old Shook here? Won't she learn everything that Shook knew?
I don't know if he has to be alive for
Yeah, I
that.
don't know what
or...
the logistics are there.
You know
You've
who
never
would
tested
know?
it.
Well,
Oh.
if nothing else, we get him off the ship.
It's a win-win. We get rid of a corpse. Janice gets
Does
maybe
she
a denim
actually
jacket and a
devour it, or does
mohawk.
she like leave a husk?
One way to
never
find
tested it.
out.
We have never tried.
she ate all the food. She
Yeah?
ate glass. She
And
ate
she got
broken glass.
bigger.
The Moonboy is very excited about this idea. He's wanted to be. He has had the instinct to like drop things into Janice since they met. He's like, let's give her a peanut. Let's
Like
give her
a
a quarter. Let's give her. Let's put a chicken in and just watch. And so I think he's like, I'll go get her.
whole thing feels a little gross, but if everyone thinks it's a good idea, I suppose we can give it a try.
You hear above you all in this tiny little voice from one of the higher up hammocks that is not her usual hammock. Cobble goes, I don't know. That seems like a way to get eaten. And she just reveals herself in this room.
Yeah.
Got it. You guys are really gonna... Okay, so first of all, you brought a dead body on here to talk to it. Flute, that's messed up. Oh, sorry. And she kind of like coughs. Oh, God, I don't know where my mind's at. Windrider, it's messed up.
Wait, where does the Moonboy think Windrider or Flute is?
He's busy somewhere.
You could ask him.
Why don't you
Yeah.
go find Flute?
You want me to go find Flute?
Well,
Oh, that's
go
mean.
grab.
Cobble's like, no, yeah, definitely. You should go find Flute. He could probably, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of you. You need somebody to break the tie if it's split. I'm not voting. You should go get Flute. Yeah.
Go find Janice and pick up Flute on the way back.
Okay.
Are you like
I'll
heading
stop.
off?
Yeah,
I'll
the
stop
Moonboy
Moonboy at the
toddles
door and I'll be
off.
like,
Don't waste your time looking for Flute. He's probably back at the dock.
Right. You think he's back there?
Probably.
All right. Okay.
You think Flute abandoned the ship?
Well, I mean, he is a tremendous coward.
Yeah, he's just a real piece of shit, isn't he?
I don't know if I'd go that far,
I'm
but
just gonna be like staring at Cobble with my one eye. Like I feel like she's probably up at eye level.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
You know
she's
what?
higher up. She's kind of like, she was
Yeah.
above all of your heads,
I'm
which
just
was one of the
gonna-
reasons. Yeah.
as
just
long as
staring
we're
at
all
her.
being so free with our opinions about Flute, have you ever tried his turkey a la king? It's terrible. Everyone says it's good, but it's terrible. Anyway, I'm going to find Janice.
Cool. Once you head out, Cobble's like, why do you all do that with him?
I don't know.
He's
It's a sense of wonder.
Yeah, but
It's so hard to keep track of.
once he finds out, isn't he going to be like heartbroken, or like realize all of his friends were like maybe lying to him the whole time?
Yes, Flute. Won't he be heartbroken?
Won't he be
Right,
upset
well.
that his friends are lying to him?
That's only a problem if he finds out his friends are lying to him, isn't it?
How could he ever possibly find out? Such a well thought out,
I'll
just
adjust
perfectly
his wig a little bit.
constructed.
I'll like make sure my shitty wig is on correctly. I'll be like,
Exactly.
Yes. Such a well constructed deception. How could he ever see through it?
Well,
And Cobble's
lasted me this long.
Cobble's like grinning a little bit, and she's like, I mean, what would you all do if you found out someone was lying to you, the whole time you've known them?
Well,
can I do an insight roll on what Cobble is talking about?
100%.
Sneaky old Cobble. What are you getting up to?
I love Cobble. Oh, look, her art's on the screen. Amazing. This was just the first moment for me as I've like loved Cobble, and when I made her up in my head, and Jordan drew this just amazing art of her that like was better than the version I had imagined in my head, and I was like, oh, that's definitely her,
And his pants, those tiny glasses.
I know, it's so good.
I love a
Thanks,
little
Val.
old lady who lives in a hammock. That's
Yeah.
it's a tricky bed for an old lady.
I mean, she's spry. She's old, but she's spry.
She's
That
up in that
explains
crow's
that-
nest all the time.
It explains that posture for sure.
I got a
What'd you get?
15 on the insight.
Cool. If one more person wants to do it, they absolutely can. She got a lower than that, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
She's kind of like clearly testing you all a little bit, but it has an element of snark to it that's like, duh, y'all. Like, just is a shitty older brother like, oh, you just figured out the Santa thing? Sorry to all the 6-year-olds watching. But she is kind of like, let's say that like someone on the ship knew who was chasing us this whole time.
you're talking
You
about
know,
you're talking about Goliathan.
I am talking about Goliathan. She's
Well,
like, look at you all.
did you know? Had you figured it out?
It depends on what you're asking me that I figured out. I know that he, I've been on this ship longer than all of y'all.
That's true.
I was here before Goat was here. I was here before Relic was here. I was here before all y'all. And he wasn't always so good at keeping that steady hand at the docks, just I'm, I know that I'm not a lot of things, but I can pick up on a thing here or there. And he's always nervous at ports. Sure, he's careful, but he's careful because he doesn't want to get caught. And I don't, again, you don't live to be a kobold. Well, that's true. But also, you don't live to be this old as a kobold without knowing where to not stick your nose. And so I've never stuck it anywhere close to there.
Well, not to interrupt you patting yourself on the back too quickly, but I think we had some inkling that something was going on.
Well, good. Now we're all on the same page.
Perhaps you would like to elaborate.
Oh no, I'm just glad we're all on the same. That we're all just like cool with deception, like kind of, in general
Cobble, are
on the
you
ship.
secretly a turtle?
Oh God, I wish it would be amazing to have a shell. Are you kidding?
That would be good. I could make you one.
Please, I would love that. As long as it's light, my back's not what it used to be, so I gotta still be able to jump around. But if you can give me something to, make it less hard to hit my spine, that would be great.
I'll see what I can do about turning you into a turtle.
On
Just
that
like in a
note,
polymorph spell.
No, I just want to answer Kai's question a little bit more too, and not just be a snarky asshole. But she's like, part of my whole doom and dread thing is that I can tell. Well, I just believe that something's going to catch up with us. Whatever he's running from is going to catch up with us at some point, and I would like to not die for that. So you all are strong, and you all are able, so maybe you should be the one poking your noses around. That's just me.
Well, I
Well,
plan
maybe
to
you can give us,
ask
maybe you
him.
can give us some more information.
Well, she doesn't have any more information.
I plan to ask him some questions as soon as we manage to have a moment.
Sounds good. And Moonboy, did you have something you specifically want to ask her? Cut you off. I'm sorry.
With that, the Moonboy comes around the corner leading Janice.
Yeah.
And he's like, I wouldn't do it, but it would be cool to see somebody eat another person. I'll watch the whole time, and you tell me what it tastes. I used to be a vegetarian.
Yeah, you're saying that as you walk in the door, and Janice goes, "What? You would never want to taste the flesh of another gnome?"
No, it feels like a weird line. You're not sure if you're ever coming back,
That's good to know.
Really good. Ugh.
I will not try and ever feed you gnome. That is a deal we can make.
Sure, that's a good deal. It's such a good deal that I had presumed it was in place already, and now, I'm a little concerned.
Well, it's maybe something I am still learning about this world in ways that are difficult, both for me to communicate and also to experience. So don't assume anything about me.
Sure.
She says, like, not meaning to be ominous, but,
Right. You're a blank slate. Anyway, everyone, Janice is here to eat the body.
Yes. I hear that I am allowed to consume a living being now.
No, he's not living.
I hear that I am allowed to consume the corpse of something that used to live, I guess, is more of a statement I should correct myself in making.
Right.
Is that something that you want?
Yes, it would be delightful.
We have got to work on something.
Oh dear.
I had a turkey and it was delicious and
It was a
I have gotten fowls confused once again. These damn elves don't know anything about birds, she said.
It's okay. It's okay.
She's like, yes, I learn a lot about a being by consuming them. So I would like to consume something new.
This person was quite evil, based on his letters.
Your morality is of not importance to me, but I understand the warning.
Okay. Well,
do you want us to leave?
No, that is of your personal preference. I mostly want to
Right.
make sure that I am not breaking the deal because I do not break my deals. So I want to get full confirmation from you all that it is okay that I am going to eat this corpse.
Shook. His name was
are we
Shook.
good with setting this precedent of just feeding her corpses?
Yes. What do
gonna
you
be
want us
bigger.
to
I
do with
What
it?
else? What else are we going to do with it? Throw it over the side?
I mean,
She puts her hand up and it's like, I understand exceptions. I understand that
Right.
this is not a thing that I am now fully allowed to do, but I am with you all consenting that I am allowed to do it.
Oh, it was less of a concern, really, for you and more for us that we are going to get comfortable just feeding you corpses.
Look, we're not good. This isn't
Well, it's
setting the
either
precedent
her or the flies.
that we're going to use
This is a
Janice as
special
some
treat.
sort of intergalactic furnace or incinerator. We're just, yes, it's a treat. Oozes can
It's
have
true.
a little salami as a treat.
As a treat, they can have the corpse of
Have a little shook.
the corpse of a crust punk pirate as a treat.
This is, not only does this solve the problem of having a corpse on board, it's very ecologically sound. It's zero carbon footprint.
It's also maybe less disturbing than shoving him down the toilet into the bag of devouring.
That's the devouring bag, remember?
Right.
Relic,
What about that toilet?
Relic
Horrifying
told me
toilet
about it.
Yeah,
I asked where your waste went, and Relic told me about it.
Yeah.
So let's let this slime chow down and tell us all the secrets. So are you cool with that, Janice? Will you tell us the secrets if he has any?
I ate all of the elves while they were still alive, so it might be difficult. I have not eaten a being with such sentience after the sentience has been taken away due to their biological body failing.
And then briefly returned and then taken away again, just to be clear.
What?
It was briefly returned and then it was taken away again.
She puts her hand up on her face in like this like pensive manner that you've never seen her do, and it's clearly like her like seeing someone doing this and doing this intentionally. She says, "You have the ability to bring back sentience? I have not heard of this."
No, Windrider can. It's one of his new tricks he picked up. So cool.
Huh. Okay. Are you, and she like thinks for a second, she looks at you and goes, "Are you a cleric to the Windrider?"
No.
Interesting. Okay. Well, do you want me to wait do you all want to stay and see what happens, or would you prefer to leave?
I'll stay.
Can I check the body for trinkets?
Sure.
At the very least, I want his little glasses.
Yeah. Absolutely. Roll an investigation check as you're going to do a quick shakedown of this body.
I'll take his jacket off. Any Windrider type garment stuff I'll take just to have as a disguise that I can.
Yeah, he's kind of got like a bike cap. You know what I'm talking about? This small, tiny bill, like stuffed in a pocket. He's got this like ripped up jean
I've got
jacket.
one in my room. Yeah.
Yeah, and he has a
hat ever made.
All right,
I rolled a
wear it next stream.
Right.
Wear it next stream. Yeah, our first cosplay.
Yeah.
Those little messenger bikes for little Italian rain.
Time to get laughed at.
I rolled a 16 investigation.
Yes, he also has two daggers that are just like straight up normal daggers. He has about 25 gold pieces and 8 silver pieces, and he has a bracelet that has 3 teeth on it.
I want the teeth bracelet.
Yep.
Whoa. Now who's creepy?
Shout out to chat for reminding you to loot the body first. Now you have a teeth bracelet. Okay, cool. Janice
Chip's nicknamed the Tooth Fairy. It's just lore that I totally missed.
I mean, you're the only one who's hung out late at night at bars with him, so you can tell us what kind of fucked up stories came out of his mouth. So Janice is kind of like, "We good? I don't want to. I very much want this to be at your comfort level."
I'm gonna put the teeth bracelet on my wrist and get out of Dodge.
Great.
Yes, all right. I suppose.
And she does a quick check and
Are these human teeth on the bracelet, or I'm just curious?
what kind of teeth?
Oh, you can
I'll
do
take
it.
a look.
You could
teeth
do it.
check?
You could do a nature check.
What?
Nature.
I'm
do
so
a
bad at
forensic
that.
files check.
Nice. What kind of teeth
A
are
lot.
these?
It's a natural
Like,
19.
Look at
plus
the
12.
12.
Ooh, 19 on the dice.
That's one of them is a wait. You got above a 20, right, Aaron?
Oh, yes.
Cool. One of them is a dog tooth. It seems some sort of like it's like the big canine that is not of you've had experience with lots of different sizes of wolves and dogs kind of in your travels, but this one just seems.
I know dogs.
This one seems to come from some sort of like dire wolf that you don't really recognize. There's nothing like special about it except it's just like a big ass tooth.
Mm-hmm.
There's also what seems to be a gopher tooth, or some sort of like flattened edged, like almost square thick tooth. And then, yeah, it's like something in between there. Like a lot of these are from planets that you haven't spent a ton of time on, like investigating their varmints, so it's close enough. And the last tooth is 100% a human tooth.
Nice.
So
Which tooth?
the it's yeah, I don't know how proficient is dental.
I mean, it would be what, a medicine
dentistry.
check?
Yeah.
Click certainly doesn't know human teeth.
My cousin.
Kai's read a couple of books cover to cover.
It's one in the back. You get a little close and it smells stinky, and you're just like, I don't want to know. You're just like,
one in the back, one of the good ones, the ones you keep secret.
I love the Klik loves it.
Yeah.
Only one human tooth. Sorry to disappoint.
I do think the Moonboy is like, all right, we'll give you some privacy to devour this corpse.
Sorry, Chad just said they're called molars, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. I just went a really long way around describing the word.
Relax,
molar.
Chad.
They're called secret teeth.
Okay, I just want to know before we're gonna cut to break real quick, but I want to know if anyone in the party is. Janice is totally cool with you hanging out while she devours this, but if anyone, it seems like you're all out.
No, I was gonna stand in the adjacent room and watch. And,
I was gonna watch through like the porthole, like SpongeBob style.
Cool.
I was gonna watch almost not out of loyalty, but maybe under my breath. I was just gonna say like,
"See you around, Shook."
Like I'm gonna hum taps.
And,
little Viking funeral.
See him off. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
I was just asking. Not approve of feeding Janice. I think she's just gonna not witness.
I was just asking because I was not going to do the description if you all did not watch, but I'm going to do a description. Quick,
gross
body horror trigger warning to chat real quick. So Janice is like kind of like nods at you all, and she puts her barrel down and pulls herself fully out of the barrel, and it's slow because she can only get so much of herself through here at a time. And when she's back in her unperforming form, you can almost like see all of the elves floating around in the mist that is her shiny, silvery, gooey body. And you can see animals in there too, and just like all of these different just like shadows of creatures inside of her. And she goes over to the body and almost, it's not a mouth because she's not like imitating what a human mouth looks like or anything like that. But she kind of just like opens herself up and wraps herself around the bottom of its legs and just kind of like snake-like almost starts pulling the body into her. And you can tell it's dissolving slowly. And it's taking her a second to do this, but she's just like a slow motion chug, and you can and at first it's just kind of like the body is disappearing, but then as it gets about halfway through, there's just like a crunch, and now the body is in a weird form, and it kind of like the elbow gets grabbed by just like a piece of her body, and you see it's the same way that she has formed tiny little hands before. This like pseudopod, once it makes contact with the elbow, pulls the arm, and it just almost pops off as she pulls it with force. And like acidic decay inside of her, and until it is only really like you hear the rib cage kind of like crunch and also make this different dissolving noise as well, until it's just Shook's head kind of like leaning out of the edge of this thing. And one of the arms is also still kind of like up here. So the arm is sticking out as well, until she again just slowly pulls it inside of herself until there's only her arms, like an arm sticking out, just kind of like limply. And with that last kind of like crest of it, you see the body is just like gestating a little bit, and it almost like it's like a back cracking or something, but it's it is an ooze, so it doesn't have that same noise, but you can see there's just like a flex to this finalized process, and the swirl inside of her kind of speeds up a little bit, and you see a form start to, again, out of this bubble, start to take place, and it starts to get like cylindrical, like something growing out of the ground until she goes back into a humanoid form. And at first you think it's the elf, but it's shorter and a little stockier. And the Windrider recognizes the form of Shook first, just in kind of this like Terminator silvery outline. And then it takes form very quickly, and he goes, "Wow, this is different." And we'll cut to break right there. So, yeah.
Yes. Even the cat is disgusted.
I had to pivot to show you how close attention she was paying.
No, she's like, "Whoa, this show rules! This is what it's like all the time."
Oh man! All right, cool.
My God.
We're gonna drink some liquid and use the bathroom. We're gonna drink
pee, baby.
pee, and
Drink
we'll see
pee.
it. We'll see you in 5 minutes. All right,
Drink,
be right back for the rest of the
chat.
section.
D, P,
Bye.
drink, pee.
Hi.
My God.
Sure. Are we still here? All right. Hello, we are back. Thanks, everyone, for giving us a sec to drink and pee. Shout out to Drawing is the Taste. Jeff in the chat gifted 5 subs tonight, which puts him as our channel leader, our historic channel leader with 10 gifted subs. So if you are a new subscriber, if you got a little notification saying you're a subscriber, because Jeff is very kind and nice, make sure you get the link to the Discord, which I will post at some point here in this chat.
What a king.
Come hang out.
Jeff has a live drawing show on Twitch that it's Tuesday nights, and you should check it out.
We actually just started hosting it just last week on our channel, so you might get a notification for that. But I know Aaron and I were hanging out last week. Come hang out; it's great.
I watch it. I try to watch at least some of it every week because
it's so good.
Jeff
so
is
soothing.
such an incredible artist.
Yeah, and you saw some of his art on the break too. The purple ship flying out of the debris field was Jeff. So we're big fans. Okay, cool. Let's play some D&D. Thanks, Jeff.
It's great. It's very good. He says it's bad, but it's also very modest. King of perspective.
Yeah.
So you all, those who witnessed this moment, have kind of like witnessed this moment. Yeah, you all have your own.
Was it K.A.I, Moonboy, and myself? Correct.
I believe so. Yeah. Saw this thing, and then Janice has now formed herself into the widower that you once knew, and she looks at you and goes, "This is definitely different. I don't quite have all of his thoughts. It seems that there is a fade that happens in clarity. It's more of a general intuition now than information, but there's something there." And she looks at herself and she goes, "Plus, this is weird.
Yes.
Humans are different than elves."
I'll look at K.A.I and Moonboy back.
This might come in handy.
Right. I was thinking the same thing.
You also see a tiny little thread that poke out from behind her, and you all can see this like how big is this? Let me think about it for just a second. It is a like sandbox sized bubble of that is the ooze that you would recognize as Janice kind of behind her, and it's about the size that she was before when she was not holding a form. So it's clear that she has gotten bigger, not about a human body size bigger. You know, you can take it to that maybe a little bit more. It's a little harder to tell as she's pulled herself up in this form, but has this other form behind her. And you see a little sliver just slowly pulling herself back into the barrel that she was originally in through the knot hole. And she goes, "Oh, go ahead."
The Moonboy goes, You're right, Windrider. This could come in handy. Shook, do you know anywhere to get shoes?"
A shoe store. He like looks proud of himself for a second. He's like, "Yes, that is an answer." And he goes,
"We would find one, Moonboy.
I
promise.
I can." She's like, "Just for, if you were interested, I can do that faster, but it's much better when I do it slow. I just want you to know that in case you ever feel willing and trusting enough of me to bring me upon the battlefield, that sometimes, in the circumstance where it is needed, I can absorb quickly."
Fascinating
And terrifying. Isn't nature wonderful?
And then you all feel a boom of the ship as it is kind of like clicking out into a lower speed. And you can feel this just like tiny little drop in your stomach as it seems to be landing. And if you go out on board, out on deck to look around, you see Goat is up there, like kind of like talking to Relic, and they're pointing at Firmarigna, which you can see you all are very close to. You can see like this faraway city that you could see before with these big like mantis legs. You were cresting the lip of it, and getting closer to one of these spell jamming ports that have been built on the outside rim of one of the 4 walls of this city. And this is a new port that you all have not been to before. The city has 3 major kind of like entry points into it for spelljammers. And this is the 3rd one that you have not been to. It is the biggest one, and it's pretty clear to you all which one you all are heading for, because there is only one kind of like grouping of docks that have coverings to it, and these do not have fleshy lids as the other ones did.
Thank God for that.
These have more of a thatch to them that seems like permanent. The fleshy lids could retract.
Right.
And I don't know. I'm
Say it
sorry.
again.
And
This looks like a thatch, but then you get closer and it's clearly woven flesh.
Flesh thatch.
Cronenbergian docking apparatus.
Don't say docking.
They literally told me off stream I wasn't allowed to say docking like 3 episodes ago.
Certainly not in conjunction with fleshy coverings.
So the ship pulls into this kind of like beaver dam-esque building around.
Harlan!
I honestly, that was a truly honest mistake.
God, why do I feel like I'm like the kid at church camp who's like, "Hi guys!" Like,
Gone full funke.
Oh
Oh boy.
okay. Anyway, your ship lands on a fucking dock. What? I don't know.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We appreciate your
no!
color.
We ruined all of the world building.
Right.
So-
Lands on the dock with the sickening erotic slur.
Oh man.
Feels good to laugh.
We are laughing.
We are
Yeah.
laughing.
We do. So I'm assuming that we were already trying to get repairs done, right?
Yep.
And that's what landed us here.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the first place.
I forget the Moss Man's name.
Swan.
Yeah, I
He's
wanted to say
gone.
Swift. Yeah, he took off for his own spinoff. When we
The Swan Mysteries.
Swan and
I re-
Angus. Adventure.
I remember when we were going to rescue Goliath, and we saw that man-of-war ship that has been pursuing us docked
Yeah.
nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Yes,
we
just
make
a,
note of that? Like, would we be able to remember where that was if we wanted to go back?
Yeah, actually, Case, if you could shout out to our producer, Case, stream director, she's amazing. If you could throw up the bigger, like full scale map, I will kind of like talk through this for a second, and I can throw it up in roll 22, just to get. Oh, it's already up. Look at that. Yeah. No, I'm just going to talk about it. So yeah, if you all want to just take a peek at Roll20 real quick, I'm just kind of like talking through some stuff so you have these references here. Also, just another quick shout out, doing a lot tonight, but Joshua Smith is the person who made this art. It is truly incredible. I wish I could show you live how granular and how just like detailed the little tiny things on here are. We'll find a way to feature that at some point, but like, it is so good, and he is an amazing artist. Follow him on every map is a story. Okay, so if you all look here, if this is north, east, south, and west, just oriented like you all see it right now, the first like part of the city that you came into is the east, kind of like by the thorax of this creature space. And that is called the Bloom Dock. The one where you attacked and you saw the elven ship is called the Trellis Dock, that part of the city. And then the kind of like southwestern side where you all are now is called the Yield Dock. And So yeah, that's just for fun. I will label that at some point in the map, but so you all know. Bloom, trellis, yield.
Great.
And you all are now. So the elven ship was at the
Trellis.
trellis.
Right.
You all are now at the yield dock.
Cool.
I
Okay.
mean,
And a portion of the trellis dock is now controlled by the widowers.
That is very true.
so
Okay.
what do we need here? I feel like we should
Yeah.
get what we need and then get the F out of Dodge. I feel like that's the move. I mean,
Thank you for not
the
cussing.
shoes can wait.
Can they?
Well, here, let's do
I
it. Well,
can.
let's do it this. Let's do it this way. So the ship comes
Ow.
down and like lands
Sorry.
again, and
Cat is stabbing me.
Stop being a cat. I have D&D to do. So it goes down and lands again in kind of this spongy surface that allows for ships of all types to land on the dock. And it is underneath this cove of this thatched covering, and Goliathan kind of like comes out quickly of his quarters, and quickly, without addressing anyone, goes down and starts negotiating with this large Tohr-Kreen being that is clearly kind of like, you, Klik, would recognize it as being dressed up too. It is kind of like in fancy clothing, really. So it's like, okay, this person's a big deal here. And you can hear Goliathan speaking some sort of like weird broken elemental language with this Tohr-Kreen, and they seem to be kind of like giving each other shit. They don't like, it's not like a friendly like with Swan. It's more of just like a professional negotiation. And after that takes place, Goliathan comes back up at the ship, and you see a bunch of Tohr-Kreen come out. They were kind of like milling about, doing things here and there on the dock, and then start to like move like things that look like scaffolding over to the side of the ship, and it's pretty clear that he's negotiated for repairs and docking to start here, as you saw like money changed hands as well. And so Goliathan kind of like comes back up at the top of the ship, and he goes, all right, well, I think this time we're staying on the ship. What do you all think?
It's probably wise.
Good. Well,
I mean,
K.A.I, you cooking anything up, or I'm famished?
Yes, absolutely. I will produce some cheeses and some. I haven't had time to cook a full meal, but I will produce some cheeses. And I'm sorry.
You're so guilty.
Charcuterie tray is not
Pickles,
enough.
yeah, it's like a full charcuterie plate.
The
Classic,
Moonboy,
like, I'm so sorry.
the Moonboy is not having it. He's like, this is bullshit.
I can make you a pickle omelet.
Just making up for not swearing back there.
Cool. So you all migrate to the kitchen. It has, it's like kind of like one big center table, and Goliathan's almost like jarred for a moment when he sees this widower character standing in the middle of the kitchen, and he goes, "What the? Oh, god damn it!" And he like grabs a knife off of the counter, and it's like,
Oh, it's all right, Captain. It's Janice.
It's fine. It's our friend, the carnivorous ooze. Everything's okay.
oh, we're like, oh, Jesus. And he looks around and goes, "Did you all feed her?" One of the widowers.
I mean, yes.
It was
Yes,
K.A.I.'s
sorry.
idea.
It was not. Well, it was not. In fact,
He takes his hat off, which
yeah.
you rarely see him do, and it's just like sweaty, and he's like a little bald, but just a little. He's got like pretty solid hairline up front. It's just, you can just see a little patch that's kind of there, and he kind of brushes his hair over it. And he goes, "I'm tuckered." And he kind of starts to snack on your charcuterie board.
Captain,
Hey.
I take the knife out of the captain's hand and put it back onto the table.
He's like about to feed himself a piece of cheese on it, but when you do it, he's like, "Oh yeah, that's a good call." Yeah.
Hand him a fork.
It's like jarring how he's just like business as usual a little bit.
Does he still seem a bit sickly, or is he kind of like looking a little healthier?
Do an insight check, and someone else can do one as well, or just take advantage, as the crew's gonna help you.
Nat 20, baby.
Hey.
So with the
What is his temperature?
24, yeah. Wow.
Oh boy,
Better believe it, baby.
Amelia, turn on the
Amazon.
lights on and off.
He looks less. There was a moment like remember the whole biscuits scones thing where he was like eating a scone and like legit thought it was a biscuit for a second. He doesn't have that fogginess to him. He still looks pale and kind of like unhealthy, but he has more of like a normalness to his where his focus is placed. Yeah. Okay.
There you go. So sort of sick on a nat 20.
You did get a natural 20.
Sort of, kind of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're right.
Hey,
You're right.
No, it's fine.
I'm just ribbing you, God.
No.
I'm just ribbing you.
I will give you this. I will give you this. He doesn't look like physically ill, like he has any sort of sickness. He doesn't look like his body is beat up in any way, and so it's very clear that like whatever was going on with him beforehand was in his head a bit. Yeah, to a degree.
And now he feels maybe a little bit relieved of that anxiety and is now
100%.
And is now a bit knackered from the adventure. Okay.
Yep, that's it.
All right,
Captain, forgive me. I know that you are tired, but I have to ask, who is the Meridian Tract, and why are we running from them?
Boy.
it probably gets real quiet.
And he looks at you straight in the eye, Flute, and he just like sees he's been not got. He just sees he's like, oh, okay, I can't do this. And he goes, well, how much do y'all like want to know? Because I get that I'm your boss. If y'all just want to do your jobs and not worry about this, that's fine. If you all want to know, I'll tell you. Y'all are something else. I get that.
I would like to know how much danger we're in, certainly.
That's a fair question. A lot is the answer.
Good to know.
I would like to know why.
Well, it's because they... All right. Well, you know what? And he kind of is like, y'all mind if I smoke?
That's your ship.
I don't have lungs.
Well, that's a good point. And he pulls it out, and he kind of like pulls out a stool, and he goes, a goat is just like sidling in too, and Cobble also like pops out of a cabinet that you didn't know she was inside of. And
Cobbles.
God, she is
She's gonna get accidentally stabbed.
He's got to put a bell on her or something. Yeah, the training kicks in.
Even like Goat and Relic are like talking as they wander in, and they see the captain, and they're like, "Oh, okay, like we will shut the fuck up." And he goes, "I'm not from this crystal sphere. Y'all know how like there's a bunch of planets here, and we go to them, and you know, the world seems infinite. Well, it is, and part of that infinity is other worlds just like this one. And They call them. I've heard people call them crystal spheres. I've heard them call them lots of things. They're basically just bubbles like that are around our ship, but for universes. And I ain't from this one. And Meridian
Yep.
Track.
You're from a different universe?
He looks at you, Moonboy, and just like truly smiles in a way that is not like his I'm participating way and like just ribbon way. Like there's a softness to it where he's like, oh, I get to tell you now. And he's like, yeah, that's why. I mean, I like you for a lot of reasons, but that's one reason I kind of just took a shine to you is because, I mean, the hell are you? That's how I feel about myself. So when I see you, I'm like, all right.
Right. I get that.
You know how like sometimes you meet someone at a bar or just like, when you're doing business together or whatever, and you're like, oh, okay, this person gets something that we don't got to explain it. You just kind of get it. I just felt that way about you. So
Yes.
I don't mean to be weird. I'm just.
No, I get it.
Yeah. So, yep, that's it. Oh, right. Sorry, that's not it. The whole Meridian Track thing. Yeah. Sorry. Whew. And Goat has her arms crossed, like Relic, Cobble, all of them are just kind of like staying silent and like waiting for him to talk more. And he goes, yeah, I mean, the Meridian Track's super powerful organization. They kind of, are keeping a lot of the threads of this world together for that reason and that. I honestly don't really know. It's above my pay grade. They just got a lot of power, know a lot of people, blah, blah, blah. You know how it goes. Well, one of the things they seemingly have a connection to, thing I found out the hard way, is that they have communication with some of the other spheres outside of this one, and I didn't exactly leave on good terms from my sphere. So, when a debt is owed, and sometimes the collector changes, and right now that collector is the Meridian Tract.
You're an intergalactic outlaw?
He puts his cowboy hat back on and pulls his pipe out of his mouth, and he goes, that's about right.
I mean, Flute already thought Goliathan was pretty cool, but
Dang.
my mouth is probably like hanging open at how cool
Truly.
Goliathan is. I like fix my mouth.
What debt is owed?
They didn't like that I took the ship.
Ah, we're aboard a stolen vessel.
Does it seem like the other crew members know this, like by their reaction? Are they kind of like, oh shit, they found out?
You can do an insight check. Someone else. Let's have someone else doing too. Go for it, Moonboy. Now, let's just have everybody do one. Let's just. I'll give everybody kind of like the level of information.
16.
That's gonna be a 25 insight from the Moonboy.
Klik is picking her nose. I rolled a 4.
She's looking at that tooth. She's looking at that tooth bracelet.
Yeah.
You think you're fancy with your 4? I got a 3.
Oh wait, 23. Sorry, 23.
There's a level of like that you all are kind of just so overwhelmed by like all of this and just like the gravity of it, and not even really knowing what it means, but just being like, what? We thought this person was this person, that you're just kind of soaking in that. Windrider, you got a 16, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Cool. The crew definitely did not know this.
Oh.
No one on the crew knew this, for sure.
Even old Cobble up in her cupboard?
Cobble's looking smirky, like she's like, yeah, I knew, but she did not. You're like, but between the conversation that you had before with her and this conversation, there's still a level of like, oh boy, like I did not know this one. She's kind of like is happy that she thinks she's right, but and then the Moonboy Goat is pissed and terrified. You're like your absorption of of this room is kind of like your usual spaciness, your usual kind of like I'm thinking about other things is hitting you in this moment. You're like, oh, this is just a constellation that's happening. You're fully interpreting this, not shook by it, and are just absorbing the usual cues that you get from people. And Goat is horrified, almost disgusted, and definitely scared. Cobble is excited, but also in a way that's like, gotcha, asshole vibe.
Ooh.
Relic, I mean, to be fair, she's like, I knew you were as shitty as the rest of us kind of thing, and less of like, I'm a cop. And Relic is unsure of how he feels. There's a part of him that's like excited about the criminal aspect of it, and you've seen a lot from him lately of like, I want to do more, I want to be an adventurer, blah blah blah. But there's also just like this deep worry inside of that, where it's like the person who says they want to, they say they want to go surfing, and then when they get out in the middle of the ocean, they're like, whoa boy, this is scary. Yeah,
you said you wanted to be a werewolf, and now you're afraid to get bitten. Come on.
Yes.
Get in the Volkswagen.
Both.
We're all werewolves.
Definitely apt.
Yep. Same experience. Got it.
Get in the Geo. We're going to a field.
Yep. And there you all are, kind of hanging out in your kitchen, with it, and him kind of like being silent now, and he's also reading the room and just kind of like something between shame and relief.
How'd you get to our crystal sphere?
Is the crystal sphere something that is common knowledge to us, or is this also
No.
new information? Okay.
It's
so our horizons have been broadened as if we have just learned of extraterrestrial life, essentially. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's definitely people that have like talked about the existence of it, and it's like a proven known thing that there are examples of it, but it's super freaking rare. Like it is. There's no like common passage between them. There's no
The Moonboy is very interested in all of this. You see, his ears, his already large ears, prick up even more, and he goes, "So where you're from? The stars in the sky, the planets, they're all different.
Yep, that's correct.
And dogs talk, and people eat from dog bowls, and stuff like that. It's all backwards."
I've seen a person eat from a dog bowl, but it's just not like a known cultural thing.
Wow, you're from dog
That was Moonboy.
That was me this morning.
How did you travel between spheres?
And why?
Well, this ship is one of the few that can do it. That I don't know any others that can do it, but I wanted to get it out of there. I didn't like. I was young. He kind of like leans back and he was like, I was working on this big old fortress, big old, it was a ship in itself, but pretty much the size of a planet. And kind of puts his hand through his hair and sets his hat down again. And he's like, I was young and just kind of wild in my head because I had doing a lot of the same shit every single day. I had a good role kind of on this big old fortress, but I was just turning chunks of copper into little tiny bits of copper wire. He's like, that's how that's where the Rocky Talkies came from. Is I'm real good at a couple of magical things, and that's just one of them. I used to work a lot with copper, but anyway, I made those. Pretty proud of him. And he goes, anyway. So yeah, I was part of this big old spaceship, and my uncle, real high up, telling me, loved to come around, hang out, telling me about the new things that they were doing. He loved talking about all of his magical things he was working on. He was real good. He was a true wizard, true big old boy doing stuff like that. And I mean, he just liked talking about it. I like hearing about it. And he one day he was telling me about the super secret things that they were working on. And one of them was this helm. that kind of allowed them to move safely between the phlogiston. Y'all know what that? No, y'all don't know what that is. He goes, it's the, if you can imagine bubbles and he kind of like pulls he's like, wait, and he pulls a bowl and he scoops up some water and he grabs some grapes that K.A.I has around, and he plops them in the bowl and he's like, all these little grapes are like spheres that are hanging out, and the phlogiston is everything in the middle, but it's real colorful, a sea of every color. It's beautiful. But they they figured out how to use magic to let them get through that safely. Because I mean, you roll out there, a normal ship will just just tear you apart, eat you up. But man, they were the way he was talking about it, they're gonna use it to go take over new places. And that made me so sad. This thing that was no one else could make was just going to be used to make other people's lives horrible. And I didn't want that. So, I got a couple tricks up my sleeve. And one night I felt especially tricky. And I scooped this boy up and got him the hell out of there.
Now, when you say this boy, you mean the ship that we're currently living in and working on?
Yeah.
It's kind of a trans-dimensional submarine.
That's a way of putting it, yeah. They built it to like kind of look unassuming from what they knew about other worlds, but that was kind of a dumb shit thing of them to do to make it gold, huh? I know that now.
So our ship is one of, you said, very few ships that can travel between spheres?
I've heard of others that can do. It's the helm that lets it be able to do that. You rip the helm out and you go put it on another cardboard box, and they have those here. I can't remember. I think they do. Anyway, it's like, yeah, you stick the helm on any ship and it will have that ability. But this is I just have a liking to this one since it's what brought me here.
That's pretty cool. So you can take us to Dog World and show us the Dog World.
Well, yeah, that's true. I could take you to Dog World.
Nice.
If y'all want to leave, I can, I understand. I can either get you all out of here. I got a couple contacts here. I can put you on a ship. If you all want to take off, that's fair. I don't want you to have to deal with trouble that I got to deal with.
I'll stay.
So you're just in hiding and running from them, or are you actually trying to achieve something?
He goes, well, oh boy, I don't know, Klik. I truly don't really have anything. I wish that I did. I wish I had something I was trying to achieve. I wish it's like my one night of kind of wild thinking and rascaliness was for some greater purpose, to be, to change everything or accomplish something or lead a thing. But I think that what I've learned out of all of this is that I just kind of want a tiny little life where I kind of get my routine, biscuits in the morning, tea in the evening, water a plant or two. I'd like to just be able to do those unimportant things that interest me without being hunted down by some shithead aggro boys. But, I already made a decision.
Another group after us?
Yeah, wow. Nerd-eating tract and the shithead aggro boys?
God.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no.
It's like, oh, we're laughing.
we got a reality hopping space conglomerate and BMX bike gang after us.
God.
It's like, nah, I just hate those Meridian track folk. They just, I made one decision, and I admit I can't ever take it back. It's there forever. But I just don't want this thing to go back. We've built a life here, and I don't know.
Can't you destroy the helm?
I truly could. That's right. I hope that, but like, I will never be able to, because we came here together, and it's really the thing that I have most in common with this life that I've got is with this damn helm. And so, if they get me, y'all are welcome to do whatever you want with this. Destroy it. It will be better for the world. But, I just am not going to be able to be the one to do it.
I mean, we could all jam off to Cowboy World or Dog Planet or whatever and just keep hiding, I suppose. Or we could turn the ship around, face them head on.
It's true. I mean, I will tell you, it's difficult, dangerous, and uncertain when you head out in the Phlogiston. I don't really know where other crystal spheres are, so I don't really... I only met one person ever who kind of like knew how to navigate those, and I didn't get to spend much time with them. But just if that's something we ended up deciding to do together, because it seems like seems like y'all are. Well, I'm not gonna put that decision on you right now. I'm just saying that's possible. It's flipping a coin with 10 sats. It's like a dice.
Like
there you
rolling
go.
a dice.
Like rolling a dice. There you go.
With 20 sides.
With 20 sides.
Yeah.
And he's like, so I mean, and there's like a little bit of just like sadness in this, obviously, but there's also a little bit of like resignation between like and relief of him just being like, I'm not the one making decisions anymore. It is all of us. So, yeah. Relic's like, fuck yeah. And then just kind of like looks around and just like reading the room, and it's just kind of uncertain. So kind of goes back down.
Yeah. The Moonboy.
How is Goat doing? Yeah.
Not good. Roll an insight check.
12.
She is a sulky kid in the back of class who wants to be lippy, but is not currently. So, I mean, You're not sure exactly what part of this she's mad about or what she wants to do, but she does not look happy. And it's clear from her body language. Yep.
The Moonboy whirls around to the others and he goes, "This makes perfect sense. You know how sometimes you meet someone and they seem like they're not from around here?" And as he's standing there with no shoes on, as a weird little pickle man.
Just like stars kind of glimmering from his hood. Yeah,
I have experienced that.
I was going to say, I think,
say, as a talking robot.
Yes, exactly. You hear about stuff like this.
Captain,
well,
you might. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you've given us all bunch of fucking weirdos a place to stay and something to protect. I don't know where we're going next, but I do know that we are being chased. And I'm a warrior. So I don't run.
I like that about you, Klik. It's been, I mean, I've had a lot of crews, and Cobble huffs, like kind of like laughs almost. We can't quite tell. And she's like, and he goes, but y'all can do some shit. Y'all have just been crushing everything that's in your path. So it's been making me feel a little more hopeful that at least I'm just not going to get stomped on with anything I do. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it.
Yes.
I have faith in y'all. That's my thing. It's like, I haven't made all the best decisions. I fucking put us right out in the middle of that gravity field. We got flipped over and y'all almost died. That was a bad decision I made. And I think I'm just done with making decisions as a captain, and I'm think more interested in making decisions as whatever we got going on. And he kind of gestures to the whole crew, and even Janice like nods.
You're not involved in this.
Perhaps
No.
it's time to take the bull by the horn, so to speak.
Yes, we can form a fellowship of the ding.
You can mute Jordan as the host of this Zoom.
Yeah,
You can take away his ability to speak.
You have my feet.
I was thinking saying, you have my ship. Yeah.
You have my hat.
And
He goes,
pickles.
Okay.
I haven't seen this movie. Click's like, I don't know what we're doing.
He goes, well, I feel good about the conversation I just had with that dock owner. So people hearing from Regna are, there's lots of different types of all kinds, but I feel good about his intentions. He wants to make money, and as long as I keep him paid, I feel no worry about him ratting out our location. But y'all should maybe be on the lookout for Ventress. I don't know you guys don't know who he is, but I've met him a couple of times, and he's who's after me. So, Kate, if you want to go ahead and throw up this art that Jordan made, I will throw it on Roll20, as well as he pulls out a tiny scroll and just seems to cast a tiny little spell and this image of this character who you can see, and I will put it on Roll20 so you all can see it too and react appropriately, because it's very good. Shout out to Jordan. Of this character that is that is like kind of like, and this ambience around him is too is like kind of like comes out of this piece of paper, and he's like, I knew I was keeping this scroll for something. And he's like, yep, that's Ventress. He is
I love it.
He is not interested in any of these stories that we are telling each other right now. Any is this identification, this brotherhood, common humanity that we are feeling right now. He's not interested in it. He knows how he wants the world to look. I've talked to him. I've sat down with him, and I've been dishonest with him, and he feels the same way. So, and that's I know whose ship that is, and I'm sorry that I kept that from y'all. But every time Ventress gets close to me, it's just my life looks bad, and it's just that much closer to not having this everydayness that I've come to really love. So,
is that Ventress's ship that was following us?
Yep, big old moth wings. That's him.
Well, we did see that. They're here.
Yeah. I mean, I did not see that ship, but he's kind of like, this doom has been following me every place I go. It's just not a matter of it happening or not, but just a matter of when. So I just don't want you all to die from my shenanigans with him. He kind of like looks like truly concerned, and Relic is like, we won't. And Janice is like, I will also not die from him. And Goat is silent, and Cobble's like, yeah, I'm gonna die at some point, probably soon. She's like trying to be like comforting to this like longtime friend of hers, but is clearly failing, and she knows it too. She's uncomfortable and using snark to hide it. And
I'll probably die from my own shenanigans, Captain.
Honestly, I see you, I hear you.
Captain,
Tohr-Kreen
that
have notoriously short lives.
Well,
it's a bug thing.
Cobble says, well, so do kobolds.
It is statistically unlikely that I will die.
Yeah.
Captain, that
Sometimes I think
harp
I'm
we
already
took
dead.
off that asteroid from the work of Florian, that harp, is that a helm like the one you were talking about?
He smiles real big. He's like, "Oh yeah, oh Florial, yeah, the only person I ever met who knew how to go from sphere to sphere." And let's just call it there.
Yes.
Let's just call it there. That's the end of the episode, right there. Yeah.
I
I know it.
can I. Oh,
Yes, do it.
can I beg a post credit scene of you?
Sure. Let's marvel it up.
I think after whatever's about to happen, when the Moonboy gets a moment alone with the captain, he says, "Captain, did you ever, when you were out there in the other crystal spheres, did you see any other moon boys?"
And he goes, "No, but I've seen a moon girl."
Dun dun. Dun dun dun.
Summer 2021.
Who is she? I'll kill her. Does she have a higher wisdom than me?
Yeah. Andrew is the moon inside of that hood. Yeah.
Hello.
Good.
Hello, moon girl.
So,
That was good. I feel threatened. Legit. I felt fear. I felt fear in my heart.
Oh, moon
Hello.
fight, moon fight.
I'll take
Yeah.
you on.
Okay.
Come at you.
We'll see who has the real answers.
Sounds like a lava lamp in here.
wait, I think there's a
Moon
setting for
versus
that on
moon.
here.
Oh man.
Oh man, I love your new lights.
Oh
Jordan.
God!
yeah.
Blah, blah.
When two moons come into contact. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Let's kiss.
Oh,
Moon spoon.
there's
Moon
that's
spoon.
lava
Right.
lamp mode.
Cool.
This is for if we ever get into like a quiz show zone.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's
There's
stressing
a
me
bridge
out.
A show called The Crystal
troll.
Sphere.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, that seems like a sea of every color. So you're it's on brand.
Oh man.
Cool. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I've seen so many of you all just here from the beginning, and it's really nice to kind of, for me, sitting in my little corner, see these reactions in chat for stuff all been working on this whole time. So thanks for hanging out.
That was
Totally.
good.
You guys are the
We
best.
learned stuff.
Yeah.
Big
And
reveals.
yeah, thanks for watching. We have other shows, other stuff going on. Harlan and I have a DM talk show called The Dungeon every Thursday at 5:30 right here on this channel. If you want to check that out, we've got a great guest this week. We have John Roy. He's a very funny
Yeah.
comedian. He DMs mini games for mini comedians, so that should be a fun episode.
Yeah, and if you are a DM and watching this, or if you run a show, or if you have a friend who's a DM who you really love, send them our way. Like, tweet at us about them, whatever. We would love to
It doesn't have
host
to be
anyone.
Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah,
Truly.
any game.
So hit us up. Anybody got anything else to throw out there? Razor
Big shout out to
Big
Big Top Studios.
Big
Thank you so
Top.
much
Top.
for your continued support and enthusiasm. I am at Razor Lou here on Twitch. You can follow me. I play video games on my other channel sometimes. I'm trying to figure out how to get art going over there too, but a lot of the things I draw are for this stream and I can't show you guys. On that note, if you think my elves' feet are too big, come fight me. I'll be in the parking lot. Come fight me. How about that?
I'm sorry. I
How
was
about
so
that?
picky. I was so picky about Ventress. I'm sorry, Jordan.
No, that wasn't you. They were talking trash about my feet in the chat. I see all. I see all.
Speaking,
Talk
oh yeah,
trash.
they're there.
I truly was.
Speaking
Wait,
of,
do talk trash. He's evil.
Yeah,
He is
look at that
evil.
evil fuck.
He's got big
Yeah.
evil feet.
Big. That's where the evil is kept. That's how you know.
Yeah, your feet would never fit in there,
You know what they
boy.
say about guys with big feet?
Evil.
Evil.
Big evil.
Evil as hell. Yeah, I don't. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say thanks to Big Top and thanks to our Patreon supporters
Yeah.
helping us out.
I know somebody was asking in chat a little bit earlier for like the players and for Harlan's Twitter. We all interact with the BTH account, but we can run through those as well.
Well, I'll just tweet him right now. If you follow, if that's okay.
Tweet all of our stuff.
I'll do it right now.
Somebody was asking at the beginning of the episode for our info. I'm also a host on a Magic the Gathering podcast called The Commander Sphere. We just put out a really great episode with comedian Mike Carosa, who is wonderful and Prince and everyone's best friend. He's got an album coming out, so this is a plug for Mike Carosa's album. You can pre-order it now, but it comes out in September. And he's a delightful little Montreal boy.
He rules.
He does roll.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight, y'all. And every week, we truly would not be here without you all. So big thanks. And remember, the best way to support our show is to tell your friends about it. Cool. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye. Have fun.
Bye.
Stargazer, Moonboy, Klik, the Crusher, K.A.I, Humbly Chef, and the Windrider, Flute, Whimteaser. They're better than he.